All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2018 Interboro football season. Tonight's non-league matchup between your Interboro Buccaneers and the team from Oxford. Bucks come into this game at 1-0 after beating a tough Strathaven team last week. It's Labor Day weekend here at the South Avenue Sports Complex, and we're almost set for football. Kicker Sam Baroy ready to let fly. And he kicks it end over end, not very deep, picked up at the 25-yard line. It'll be brought down at the 29, and that's where the Bucks or the Hornets will take over. Well, Oxford, a team we don't know a whole heck of a lot about down here. They haven't had a program for very long, but typical early season matchup for the Bucks. Bucks come in after what can only be described as a disappointing season, but they did win the opener.
Two guys are moving. Two guys are moving. Two guys are moving. Two guys are moving.
And Oxford pitches out about the 35-yard line. So second down and 4.5 for Oxford. Adorned in their maroon pants, white shirts, white jerseys, white helmets with that Oregon Model O. Real nice, sharp-looking uniforms. I really like Oxford's unis. And they get a first down carry out to the far sideline by Oxford's bench. We'll spot the ball around midfield. Right at midfield, so Oxford with a first down. This time the read option to the quarterback. He decides to pull back and take it himself. And he's got all kinds of room, chased by a slew of Bucks defenders, and they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Oxford. Wow. And the read option works for the Oxford Hornets. This quarterback decides just pull back, take it, and he runs all the way across the field, chased by a whole slew of Bucks defenders. And they lead 6-0 very early on, 1:06 into the game. And they're going to run a two-point conversion as well. They had the Bucks defense all discombobulated. There was just basically no preparation for that play. There were two offensive players covered by one. They didn't want to take a timeout, I guess, on a two-point conversion attempt this early in the game. So Oxford, 1:06 into the game, have an 8-0 lead. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't really see that coming. So Oxford strikes first. We'll call it 71 yards on that drive in just 4 plays, I think. And Oxford will kick off from the 40-yard line. Back deep, Mike Moore, Andrew Grebe, and Tim Conberry, who will be the core, really, of the Bucks skill position players once the offense takes the field. Quarterback Jared Della Priscoli, number 2. You can see him there on the sideline. His second year as a starter. And it looks like Convery will pick it up on one bounce. And he'll get out near the 30-yard line. Brought down at about the 27. So Bucks offense, as we said, under the leadership of quarterback Jared Della Priscoli. This is his second year as the starter. He's a senior. He's a big boy. 6 foot, 185 pounds, and I'm not even sure. That might not even do him justice. I think he's a little bit bigger than that. The feature back this year is going to be number 34, Mike Moore, who got a lot of carries last year. And they go to Mike Moore on the first play, not much there. May have even lost a yard.
No change, coach.
fullback is number 6, James Udowenko, also a senior. Listed as a tight end here, but he's in the fullback position right now. The key slot back will be Andrew Grieb, number 4. You'll see him quite a bit on things like jet sweeps. Feature wide receiver will be Convery, number 11. So among the starters on offense, you see Ricky Neal, he's back for another year. Alec Wood, this is his first year as a starter. Mike Billups, he's starting. He got a couple of starts last year. Ryan Gowanall, another senior, he saw prominent action last year on the offensive line as well in games where Noah Nickel didn't play. This one goes to the up man after an offensive or a defensive penalty. So 3rd down and 1. Bucks yet to take to the air in the early going. And it'll be 1st down Bucks. Jared Dell with the keeper. Be able to hear the cheerleaders loud and clear tonight without the band being here. Fortunately, the Oxford band is here. We thank them for making the trip all the way down from Oxford area, playing the national anthem at our stadium. Not exactly sure where our band is, but when I find them, I'll let you know. We're hoping they're here next week. Grieb in motion, hand off to Mike Moore. Moore bounces off and gets maybe a yard or two. Second long, they go Moore outside, and they bottle him up as well again. So Mike Moore, after a lot of carries and over 130 yards on the ground last week, tough time getting going.
Money down, let's go. Same personnel. Three's coming in. 6 is out. 6 is out. 6 is out. Where it's going.
So 4 wide receivers set this time. They'd want to screen to Moore. Moore, head of steam, bowls over a man past midfield down to the 45 for a 1st down. So even with 4 wide receivers, they check down to the running back Moore, who does a nice job corralling a pass that was a little bit behind him, and he takes it out past midfield for the 1st down for the Bucks. So 2 straight 1st downs, as we see Mike Whitdorf, young sophomore receiver. He trots off back to the more conventional. So you have Udowenko back in at the fullback position. This time they go to Grieb. And again, this is what you're going to generally see out of Andrew Grieb. Gets about 7 on the play.
Good. Wrap them up. That's it.
More, not much.
Let's go, baby.
So one apology, looking at the uniform a little bit closer. The fullback Shane Langston, number 8, not Udowenko, the tight. I thought Udowenko was a tight end, but that's a number 8 that I see at the fullback position, and Udowenko lined up at his tight end position. So my mistake. Without monitors and all, we do the very best we can. Grebe catches the pass, but it was thrown a little bit ahead of him. He'll get a yard or two, but it'll be 4th down and about 3. Bucks will probably go for it here. Del Priscoli stays on the field, although he does also handle the punting duties. And a quick kick, which I kind of thought was forthcoming. They get inside the 15 to the 14. So that's a staple of Steve Lennox, this part of the field. The quick kick. So 5:21 to go. Oxford with an 8-0 lead. And it'd be interesting to see how they defend. He has some movement up front. And then move to the outside, and then still can't make the tackle. They'll get him about 5 yards shy of the 1st down, so it'll be good gain on the play after they should have had him bottled up. Third down and 4. They decide this time a little trickery. They run a sweep to the outside, and there's a penalty on the play, so it'll be a hold, which will probably decline. Evan Sorrentino out there to make the stop. A little help from Grebe. And it's a short punt, fair catch on the play. Whittorf at the 48. And we have a stoppage here with 4:24 to go. Bucks coming back. Moore again bottled up. Not much is really hero of last week's game. Mike Moore really getting stuffed as they're keeping the guys up in the box.
Talk to Nate, coach. He was confused back there. Farrell. He had his hands up. personnel. Hold on, I don't see it on the sideline. Respect eyes. There he is. Fullback's in. Fullback's in. Ball. Counter.
Del Pascoli rolls out and is looking for Udowenko. But it goes in and out of his hands.
Tight end stay on the field. We just call it to him every time. That makes it easy. He's not coming out. Eight's coming out now. Fullback comes out. So you can always call it to him.
So third down at about 7 or 8.
Doubles. Yes, 6 becomes the slot off the top of the screen.
Grebe in motion. They come back with a throwback play to Convery, which fools nobody. And Oxford all over it. And no gain on the play, so it'll be a 4th down play and a probable punt. And hopefully that ball will die, but probably not. No, it goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Oxford will take over, up 8 with 2:53 to go. And first down, Oxford goes for the home run ball deep, but ball's overshot a little bit. Langston beat by a step or two on the play. It's time to go over the middle, and the tight end with the catch. And they miss a tackle, and they give him about 17 yards when it could have been 5. Oxford in no hurry. I mean, in a bit of a hurry up. They're not going to huddle. This time the quarterback keeps it, stays on his feet, gets a first down, and then some. Very elusive play. Pass midfield to the 48-yard line with 2:16 to go. A second down and 5. Timeout on the Bucs with 2:07 to go. So not quite the start that the Bucs were looking for on either side, really. Can't get the ball moving on offense, can't stop them on defense. In a game that I think a lot of Bucs fans probably had is, one of those early season games that they could just show up and get the win. Not the case so far. Oxford comes out here very well prepared, looking good. Got a band here, got fans here. 46-yard line, about second down and 6. They dump one off, be first down and then some. Tackle made by Vince Kolodner. Four wide receivers set, single setback here for the Hornets. And Oxford with the timeout call. Little mix up in what the play is going to be called. I want to give a special thanks to all of our sponsors. You see them with their banners down on the field. We'll try and get to each and every one of those as the game progresses. We got County Savings Bank, State Farm agent Joe Daly. Got Videon, the local car dealership, Retro Fitness, the Healthplex, Trieste, which is always a popular after the game stop, Lions Roofing, Colvin Tax and Accounting Services, and Reliable Computer Solutions. We'll get back to some of the other sponsors as the game progresses. Right now, back to game action, first down for the Hornets. And a little shovel pass. And not only did they execute well, but they run well. Now, there's going to be a flag on the play. There's also going to be a face mask on Interboro, so the play's probably just going to come back and be an offset. The Bucks just look sloppy tonight, man. And beat to the punch on every play. So, they apparently just called holding on Oxford, so they didn't get the face mask down there. I thought the Bucks player grabbed the face mask, but maybe they did call them both. So, yeah, it's back to first down, offsetting penalties. That's what it looks like because the down marker says first down. So, in essence, we replayed it down. And motion penalty on Oxford, first and 15. Of course, the rain picks up just a little bit more. And that penalty is on the Bucks, so it's going to be first and 5. They jumped the gun. Quarterback keeper, quarterback, first down. We're waiting on the spot. It'd be first down regardless. They're just drying off the ball. As you can see, there is just a little bit more than a drizzle now. The rain's picked up just a little bit. So now it won't be a first down as they call, I guess, a hold. Oh, Oxford, the handoff, and they still just bowling forward for a first down, and running back not very big, but he's able to elude tacklers and just force his way through and get the first down inside the 30. They'll call it the 28. And they're going to toss it, hand it off. They're going to lose a lot of yardage on that play, about 5 or 6 yards. Not sure if they were looking for 11 to pass that ball or what the deal was there, but Bucks were all over it. And there's a flag on the field downfield. They called holding on offense. They'll probably decline it and take the play. So 22 seconds and change left. Second down, roughly 15 yards to go. And they'll keep the ball to about the 31. That'll be the end of the first quarter. So we'll switch sides and play a little football going the other way. Oxford really is surprised this first quarter of play. They're up 8-0, but driving again. Bucks in a little bit of trouble here in the early going. But thanks as always for sticking with us. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm here for yet another season of Bucks football, joined by Chris Malinich, here pinch hitting for his lovely wife, who just, it looks like the broadcast team had a busy offseason as both of us had babies. But the husband Chris, pinch hitting here for his wife and filming the game, so we thank him for his efforts. And we're ready to go for another season of Bucks football. Again, we'll try to get some more of those sponsors, the ones that I could see, the Glen Olden Fire Company, the Knitting Corner, MJH Renovations. Then we'll get some of those other ones in a second. Dynamic Roofing, I can see. Patch Transmissions, another sponsor as well. And we'll get the rest of those as the game progresses. But 12 minutes to go here in the half. Quarter number 2 begins. Labor Day weekend, so not a great crowd here, but an okay crowd considering the rain, considering it's a holiday weekend, considering it's a non-league game. Oxford to pass. Got a wide open man, but the receiver number 11 has fallen. That'll make it third down, fourth down and 13 now. As again, the rain intensifies a little bit more. Field, though, in very good playing shape. Chuck and John, as always, do a fantastic job getting the field ready to go. Numbers on the field numbers are on the field this year, so also big capital improvement. So they'll go with Ford on fourth down, and Oxford's going to come very close to it. And we'll see as they're calling first down. So Oxford with the surprise with the draw play there, and they get it, and it'll be just inside the 20-yard line for a first down. That pass is a one-hopper. It was sweep to the outside down to about the 10-yard line. I feel like the rain I'm seeing out on the field is hitting a little bit harder than the rain I'm getting hit with, but still coming down pretty good. And Oxford with the hurry-up offense going to be inside the first down mark, so it'll be first and goal. And Oxford just go, go, go. And low snap. Not much a quarterback can do with that. They get up to about the 5-yard line. That's it. We're waiting on instructions, but still not going to huddle. And they just go right up the middle with it, and they're stuffed. Nice tackle by Mike Moore. It's a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Time of possession certainly in the favor of Oxford, as they've had the ball for quite a while on this drive. And this time the quarterback, and he'll stay on his feet despite the initial contact at about the 3-yard line and get into the end zone. And Oxford with another touchdown. So 14-0 pending the point after attempt. And the kick is up, and it's no good, but there was a flag on the play prior to the try. So, penalty on Oxford, but it'll be declined. So, 40-yard line kickoff for Oxford, who's playing well. 14-0 lead. This one will go to Convery. So that's 2 straight kickoffs to him. Trying to keep the ball away from Mike Moore, I take it. Although Convery had quite a few kickoff return touchdowns last year, punt return touchdowns. So good job also on the kickoff coverage team by Oxford. Bucks will take over down 14 at about the 32-yard line. Oh. Mike Moore up the middle for about 9. You're a good husband, dude. You really are. They give Moore the first down on that. Moore again gets the legs moving for about 4. So the jet sweep goes to Grebe past midfield for a first down. 49-yard line will be the line of scrimmage. And really what the Bucs need now is some offensive output, as they don't want to go down any more than the 14 that they're already down. They can cut the lead in half, maybe before halftime. That'd be fantastic. They deferred, so they get the ball back. Oh, you see Moore get the legs moving here. Handoff up the gut to Langston. He'll get a first down. So the 39-yard line will be the line of scrimmage moving forward. First down, and this is probably the best the Bucs have looked on offense. Want to try and sustain that drive. And again, you really don't want to go into the half down any more than 2 touchdowns. Like to be able to cut it down to 1 and just have the ball back at the beginning of the third quarter. It's going to be an option. Dello Pascoli keeps it. The horse collar not called. But inside the 30 to the 29, he'll get a first down. And to be fair, the defending player did let go of the jersey of Dello Pascoli and didn't drag him down by it. So I think the refs were probably correct to not call it a full-fledged horse collar. Moore up the middle. Moore still on his feet. Moore, a veteran of media rugby. This was the big thing with him, and when he played rugby, nobody could get him down. And they just keep don't blow the whistle. They keep his legs moving, and he just drags basically 2 entire teams with him. And somebody on Oxford's teams look like they're down. Actually, looks like somebody on Interboro's team looks like they're down. And so that might be Moore that's actually down, because they're bringing in number 32, who's Marquise Bird, who has really long been dubbed the heir apparent to the running back position ever since he made the team as a freshman, but really has never become the feature back. But he may be getting his chance now, depending on what the situation is with Michael Moore. Grebe on the sweep. Bucs with the first down at the 8-yard line. Pitch out this time to Bird, and Bird is going to walk into the end zone. Great job by Marquise Bird. Great job to sell it by Dello Pascoli. And a nice drive by the Bucs, really, to come back after Oxford with a long, sustained drive to go up 14-0. And the Bucs really just playing Bucs football, grinding it out on the ground. And then make it 14-6 with the extra point attempt forthcoming. I guess this is Jordan Howe, the kicker, which I may have inadvertently gave Sam Baroy credit for being the kicker earlier, but this is Howe. So we have offside. So sometimes in this situation, the Bucks decide to go for 2 when they get a little bit closer to the goal line.
Hey, they're going for 2.
And up the gut for the 2-point conversion. Bird making the most of his opportunity. More being administered to over on the sideline. We'll wait and see what the word is there. I have to put Joe Barrett on that. I'm sure they're busy down in the snack stand as of right now. So with 5:03 to go, it's 14-8 in favor of Oxford. So it's incumbent upon the Bucks now to really make another defensive stand and hopefully hold Oxford, not give them the opportunity to have a 2-touchdown lead. Give me a ball. Got me. That ball goes out of bounds. A good field position for. And I'm just trying to catch a football from the cheerleading squad. I need someone with a good arm. You actually have to have a pretty good arm to get one up here to me and Chris Malinich. Especially with this new billboard thing here. I'll go down after the game and get about 12 of them. So they're just going to make the Bucks re-kick. I was hoping to make this program last the whole year, but it's going to be saturated by the time this game is over, just like me. So enjoying fatherhood so far? Yeah. Little girls are cool though, man. Makes you a better man. They've been doing that with the checkup for a couple of years now, and I've never really seen it have any impact. I don't know what the heck they do it for. They kick. They try to make one of the up men handle it and subsequently fumble it, and that doesn't happen. They turn the ball past midfield. Fumbled snap, and they still are able to execute the screen. And this could be disastrous, actually. Still on their feet, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. And if I was allowed to curse on public access cable, I would right now. Holy cow. Fumbled snap, and then just dinked it right over top of the defensive line. Running back scoops it up and into the end zone for another touchdown. Point after, no good, but still 20-8. And again, you know, we just got done saying that we didn't need another one of these touchdowns or touchdown drives by Oxford. That's exactly what they do. They come right out and pop a long one, 45 yards for the touchdown and a 12-point lead.
We're good.
31-32-yard line. Bucks with the ball, 4:32 to go.
Jackson's on there right now.
Bucks got some work cut out for him. Hand off to Bird.
Wrap him up.
So no Mike Moore on this series, and I quite frankly didn't see whether he went back into the locker room or what happened. I don't see him on the sideline, and I don't see him on the field. So looks like it's going to be Marquise Bird's detail for the foreseeable future. And Abdullah Pascoli got Grebe, almost able to corral it and bring it in. He also could have checked down and thrown to Convery, who was open. But I think it's just a natural instinct to try to hit that seam route to Grebe.
32's in 8. Six is in there too. He's going wide your side. Yeah, but the ball's going to go on that. Must not be in the backfield. Nice. Beautiful. Hey, they might be punting it. Change your personnel.
So 3.5 to go. 35-yard line, 4th down.
We got 11.
And the Bucks will probably be punting here.
Why is Woody going off?
And a good punt gets past the return man, and it'll roll down to the 20-yard line and stop dead at the 20. So a nice punt by Jared Dell. 45 yards on the punt. 2:53 to go. And I was talking with Coach Gary Murray before the game, and again, I'm not a meteorologist or nothing, but I was like, this rain, I think, according to my weather bug app anyway, is going to hold off, and we should have a window to get this game in without any rain. It actually wasn't so bad before the game, and then since the game has started, it's picked up, and now we're all pretty soaked up here. So Oxford, quarterback keeper. And a 1st down. So Brett Kamansky, the quarterback, really been an addition throughout this game. With between the fakes to Faber, the running back, and then just Now also see in action number 11, Brandon McWilliams, and number 87, Justin Nesty. They're really the big, guys out of the wide receivers. But really keeping Coach D'Esposito and the Bucs defense on their heels throughout the game. And this hurry-up offense, really no answer for it quite yet. Ball on the ground this time, but they get it back. Oh, what a monster stick. Really, probably one of the better hits you'll ever see. And it was clean, too. I mean, it was Sammy Mufti with the hit. Don't know that there's any need to be jumping around like that after the hit, but there was a nice big hit. Sammy Mufti's a big-sized kid, and it was a clean hit. It was after contact. I mean, you could argue that the receiver was defenseless, but he didn't lead with his head, and he didn't go helmet to helmet. It was a body-on-body hit, so it just happened to be a hit where he was able to grab him up high and then ride him down. And I'm certain that McWilliams had the wind knocked out of him on that play, but it was a pretty big pop. You see him getting up, which is great news. You never want to see a young athlete get hurt, especially anything permanent. But he took a lick, but he'll be back up, and I'm sure in another play or two, maybe even after the half, he'll be back out there. Nonetheless, credit where credit's due, and a big hit by Sammy Mufti. And hey, if nothing else, maybe it'll inspire the Bucs to play a little bit harder, play a little bit better on defense. 3rd down and long for the Hornets. And right up top, and they're going to call a face mask on that play. In order to grab hold of either Kamansky or Faber, they grabbed up high. And I don't even know that it was a face mask so much as it was a tackle by the helmet. But either way, it's illegal, and it'll be a big penalty. They called holding against Oxford, so they didn't call a face mask. So they'll decline the penalty and take the play, which would be a loss. So it'll be 4th down for Oxford. So we got Convery and I imagine Grebe back deep. And Oxford probably be wise to kick away from both of them here. And the ball fumble. And but I can't call it now. The Oxford coaches are calling for 12 men on the field, but there's no way to be able to determine that right now. Lorenzo Owens with that tackle, though, and great field position for the Bucs, and that's just really the break they needed before the half. I mean, outside of a punt return for touchdown, this is exactly what they needed, just to snap a little bit low, and punter unable to hold on to it. So 18-yard line or 19-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Option pitch to Moore. Moore's back on the game. That's great. And they get the ball at the 11. And in all honesty, a touchdown here right before the half would be just what the doctor ordered. Minute 15 and counting. Bucs certainly not going to use any timeouts unless absolutely necessary, as they don't want to give this great Oxford offense the ball back at all. Dell with the pass wide open in the end zone, and that's a touchdown. And that may have been Langston for the touchdown. That's what Eddie Barrar's calling. So Langston out of the backfield. He scored a touchdown last week against Strathaven. They proved to be the game winner. And this is another big one, as they decided not to go with the ground game, pulled the ball back, and went to Langston out of the backfield, who was wide open. And a good ball there by Jared Dell. House kick is good. So it's 20-13 game, 20-15 game rather. And with a minute left, Oxford will get the ball back, but when the half ends, Interboro will receive the kickoff because they won the toss and deferred. So 40-yard line, the line is the line where they kick off. Hal will kick off from there. Hasn't exhibited a huge leg yet, so the deep men are all the way up at the 16, 17-yard line. And they got to do this customary stupid thing where they run up to the ball and stop. And again, if somebody can please explain to me what the hell they're doing there. But this time they do kick off, and they kick it deep. And ball be received at the 15-yard line. And all the way down to the home bench. They're going to call a face mask on that play from like 70 yards away. Well, the foul's on Oxford, and I don't know what the call is. I have no idea specifically what the 15-yard personal foul was. But they called it, they said it was spotted, I guess, the foul at the, well, they're going to drive it back to the 25-yard line. So I guess it happened around the 40, and that's where Oxford will take over with 47.4 to go. Score is 20-15, so even though Oxford, I feel, has kind of dominated this game on both sides of the ball, it's only a 5-point game. And Kamansky right up the gut for 4 or 5. And we'll see how committed Oxford is to scoring again in a second. They're going with the hurry up, but they didn't use one of the timeouts or anything. So they may be and now there is a timeout on the field, and Oxford takes it. But it must have been because they didn't like the package they had out there, because they certainly would have used a timeout about 15 seconds earlier had they been trying to save time. Kaminsky plenty of time, and had a man over the middle. Convery had a beat on him, and so too did Sorrentino. Sorrentino throws it over to one of the side judges there, who dropped it. And on the keeper, brought down by a Mufti. And the Bucks will take a timeout. And it'll be 4th down, so they're going to obviously try to get a punt return set up. And really, this punt return may wind up being the last play of the half. You know, maybe they'll be able to get one more. And fans cheering because Ricky Neal just threw up on the sideline. He's going to go back in the game, and there goes the life of a two-way football player. I'm not sure why this particular timeout is longer than the other timeouts. Refs are over talking with some of the coaching staff. Mark Burrell, Coach Lennox was in the huddle with the team, so they were setting something up. So Grebe and Convery and Whittorf are now some discussion over how much time is going to be on the clock. And now there's no longer 12 seconds left, there's 2 seconds left. So Oxford will no longer punt the ball. They'll either try and run a play or they'll just fall on the ball after the 2 seconds elapses. I mean, they might be wise to just, they're just going to kneel it. So he waited for the 2 seconds to run off. But, well, either way, it's 20-15 at the conclusion of the first half. So we'll be back after the half. All right, we're ready to rock and roll here in quarter number 3. Bucks down 20-15. The kickoff going to go towards Convery. He picks it up at the 20. Looks to make the first man miss. He does, but gets out to around the 30, and that's it. That's where Jared Dell and the Bucks offense will take over. As the rain has not let up, nor has the crowd at the snack stand. So thanks to all you folks out there supporting the class of 2019. Apparently the only thing we did wrong was not order enough food. We promise we will not make that mistake again next week. But the hot dogs and the pretzels, they're flowing. Mike Moore with the run game to the 35. This time it's Langston, brought down from behind, but it'll be a 3rd and short, probably about 2.5. Oh, Moore. And I think he'll probably get marked for the first down. We'll see, though. It'll be 4th and inches or first by a little bit. Moore definitely tweaked his hip or his right leg on that play. They're going to call it 4th and about a half a yard. And they'll bring Bird in instead of Mike Moore. Moore will come off, which is probably the wise move here. You know, you don't want Mike Moore to be, it's still very early in the season. And they go to Langston. He'll get the first down. So first down, they get it outside to Bird. Bird, who doesn't have the upfield speed that Moore does, but he has a low center of gravity, and if he throws his shoulder into somebody, he might be able to, you know, put a pop into somebody. He didn't do it there, but does get a couple of yards. We have an Oxford player down. I didn't see a number. I'm not sure if that's Kaminsky, the quarterback / defensive back. And it is. So wait and see his status, as obviously that's a very key player for the Oxford team. He's done a heck of a job. A quarterback play mistake-free. And we got Grebe. Grebe past midfield, past the 40, down to the 38 or 37-yard line. They'll give him the 39, but it'll be a first down. Excited to see Grebe on my roster this year. We have not yet actually begun school and begun classes. That comes this Tuesday, but have a number of these young men, young student athletes on my roster. Look forward to getting to know them this year as they go through their senior year. Not just as football players, but also as students and as people and all. So we're looking forward to that this year. Jared Dell with the keeper. Not no yardage on the play. So I formation set again. Bird, the feature back, looking, and a nice job again, looking down by Della Priscoli, and that's something that you see over the year of experience. You know, maybe last year he would have thrown that ball downfield to Convery, but instead he looks down and sees Grebe and gets the first down. The 28-yard line, the line of scrimmage. This time it's Bird. Bird finds that hole. It's 4-5. And you see, you know, Bird doesn't hit the line nearly as hard as Mike Moore, but Bird does have a touchdown in this game, and you know, it's a guy who, over the course of the last couple of years, really hasn't had a lot of varsity carries. So as the year progresses and as he gets more experience at the position, you know, we'll see Marquise Bird, I think, really come into his own as a tailback, especially if he's needed to play. You know, you see Mike Moore right now got both shoes off and looks like, so I'm not sure if they're just retaping or rewrapping him with hopes of getting him back in the game. But he's certainly a guy that they want to get back in. Della Priscoli rolls out to his right, looks for a man, got Convery, that's a touchdown. And a well-thrown ball by Jared Dell and a great catch by Convery in the end zone, hauled it in, tucked it, and rolled into the end zone. And really, is again, a kind of ball that I don't know that Jared Dell makes that throw last year. He might throw it behind or you know, air it out over top of Convery. He really put that one on a rope, and Convery brought it in. And the Bucs will have their first lead of the night at 21-20. Extra point pending. Jared Dell to hold, Hal to try the attempt. And now and Oxford jumps off sides, which will give Interboro another opportunity to go for two. You know, they're up one right now, 21-20. and they'll wait for instructions from Coach Lennox for a play. But whenever there's an offsides on the defense on a kickoff, they always do opt to go for 2, thinking they're able to punch it in from like that 1.5 yard mark. So we have Bird as a tailback, Langston as the fullback, Whittorf split wide as a single setback, and Bird stuffed. So they take that point off the board, and we'll see if it looms large later in the game. But right now, the score remains 21-20. And really the status of Kaminsky for the rest of the game will be of the utmost importance as the top, quarterback for Oxford. We'll wait and see if he's able to come back into the game. And I would love to see some of the scores from around football, but of course, tough to see with the, what's it called? And Oxford, nice tackle in the open field by Evan Sorrentino. And there's, again, a tackle that you don't, they weren't making in the first half. And a charged up Bucks team, maybe this would be the shape of things to come, or a sign of things to come for them in this second half. As they come down, they chew up about half of the third quarter. They score a touchdown with 6:35 to go. It'd be Oxford ball. Kaminsky back on the field. So Oxford's offense, which really have been clicking all game, and they dump it. And another good stick. Evan again with a big hit and knocks the ball free from Kinsey, 87, who had played a pretty good game as an outside receiver. And it's time they hand it off to Mick Williams. And there's a flag somewhere. I don't know if they're going to call that flag on Interboro on the tackle. That would be my assumption, but I thought that several times during the game, and it hasn't been the case. So we got personal foul, horse collar on Interboro, so that'll bump them up. And it's a shame because it was a play for a loss, and it would have brought up third down and long. And instead, it'll be second down and about 1.5 for another first down. Ball will be spotted at the 33. Four wide receivers.
Here he comes, get him!
And they pull back and almost intercepted as that pass was tipped at the line, bounced up in the air. You saw Convery and Gree back there and Sorrentino. Oxford hurries it up, third down and short. They hand off, they get the first down and then some up to the 40. We're under 6 to go in quarter number 3. Right back at it. Grieve, though, with the stick at the 44. And give him 5. A bit of a generous spot there, 45. And this time it's the quarterback on the keeper, and they hold him back from a first down. Another big stick by Grebe. And this time looks like Andrew's hurt. So Whittorf will come on to replace him. And you see training staff as well as coaching staff out there to look at Andrew. Ball on the ground. And they still pick it up and get a first down. So there's a couple times now where a seemingly busted play. This time another keeper and a good job. Vince Kolodner with the stick.
All right, now watch out. Wide side. He's coming back this way. Coming back this way. Come on.
And it's time to pass over the middle. And another close to first down. Neske with the catch up to the 35-yard line. Very close to first down yardage. Third down and like about a foot. And they got the first down and then some right up the gut. Tim Faber, who's been a thorn in the Bucs side all game, inside the 20. And I almost hate to say it, but man, as much as, you know, this weather's not so good, this has really turned into a very fun to watch high school football game. Now, if you're a Bucs fan, you're not going to like that part of it. As Faber goes up the gut for a touchdown, and Oxford will retake the lead. They'll have 26. Oh, the two-point conversion attempt is going to fail. They try to take it outside. Bucs stay patient, stay in their lanes, and run alongside, and they're good. Why your shot? I feel okay. It's a nice piece here. Is this yours or is this? I guess it's. I mean, I wouldn't know a good one if I saw one. I want to say it again. I really like Oxford's uniforms, man. Their whole like Oregon get up there. I really like them. And I'm enjoying their hurry up offense and everything. Next time I'm in God's country, I may take up a game or two. Flag on the play real late. Yeah, my reaction exactly. 21-yard line, but then a flag thrown, so we'll see. So an unsportsmanlike, and I don't know what the call is there. And I mean, I didn't see anything egregious. I mean, who knows? I'm not down there on the field. And maybe somebody said something or, you know. Maybe these refs have a quick trigger. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Nice stick behind the line of scrimmage as Langston gets stuffed for a loss of 2 or 3. Great penetration by the interior line. And once again, Bucs stuff behind the line of scrimmage, so they're going to put themselves in a precarious 3rd and long position. Bucks going with 3 wide. They'll put Convery in motion. They'll fake it. Dallor Piscoli up the middle, or at least past the line to try to get it on the ground. They don't. It'll be Bucks ball 4th and 6 from about the 40-yard line. And this is an interesting time and an interesting decision. I mean, you would think that this is probably a punt here, and I would think that that would be the right move.
Watch the ball. Watch the ball. Yeah, who's going to kick it? Watch the ball.
Given the amount of time left in the game, 2:25 in quarter number 3, and Jared shanks it off the side of his foot. And again, hindsight being 2020, you know, when that happens, you say, well, you probably should have just gone for it, but you don't know that the wet ball is going to shank off the side of the foot. This is what you got to look forward to. Your daughter steals your wife's phone and starts texting you while you're at work. Ball on the ground. Kaminsky falls on top, though. They're going to keep it. Backside pressure. Kyle Bonner with a nice hit.
You want to bet he's going to get us with leading with the head? What's this guy, the NFL?
Flag on the ground. Wait and see. And they do. They call a headshot. These refs haven't been afraid to toss the flag tonight, that's for sure, on either team. A lot of penalties on both sides. I wouldn't say it's been, you know, in favor of one team or the other, but they've thrown the flag, and they've thrown big ones too. These aren't your typical like illegal procedures or whatever. They're getting them with the big ones. Kaminsky, who probably could have gotten another 10, 15 yards, and he might have blown a tire too. Grabbing his quad. And again, you never, ever wish to see that on any player, even if the guy's, you know, really giving your team a beating like Kaminsky's been doing in this game. You don't want to see any young student athlete suffer any type of injury, either short or long term. He had a first down carry there, and he just slipped, and he, you know, hopefully it's just a little tweak. You know, a lot of times when you're 16, 17 years old, you can sustain something like that. Other times it's a lot more serious, and we hope it's the former and not the latter. One of those things that he can walk off and shake off and be back out in another play or two. Because this has been an entertaining football game, and I think it's in large part because of the play of Brett Kaminsky. And when we get back to action, it'll be a minute 25 left in the third. Oxford driving second down and probably about 2. We'll take a look and see what the backup quarterback situation is for. Oh my God, and a clothesline on the play. The quarterback for Oxford is nothing short of humongous. Thomas Repitz is, I think, his name. If that's number 14, if that's what I see from here, and he's humongous. He's got to be 6'5". At least that's what he looks like from this far away. And they're still moving the ball right down the field. So, you know, second down and about 5. It's up, and he misses his target. So despite having the backup quarterback in, Oxford still first down goal inside the 10. That'll be second and goal inside the 10. Ball marked on the 8-yard line. And really, this is a key point in the game. If you're Interboro, you got to make this stand. Now Oxford will take the timeout. Again, 20.5 seconds left in quarter number 3. And they get to the outside, nothing doing. At the end of the quarter, we'll turn it around and move it the other way. And it'll be third down. So, those 4 fingers in the air. It's fourth quarter time here at South Avenue Sports Complex. Bucks down 26-21. Oxford driving. Just could obviously only make this a little bit more of a tall order for the Bucks to come back and get this win. At pass and overshoots, so it'll be fourth down. And it'll be an interesting call here if you're Oxford. I mean, how much confidence do you have in your kicking game? A field goal puts you up 8. Which would force the Bucks to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. But they've had problems with the extra point. So this will be a 25-yard field goal, which, you know, leg-wise, probably not that big of a deal. But for a high school kid with a wet ball, it is. And the kick is up, and it's good. Wasn't pretty, but it went through. And nice field goal for, if you're Oxford, Tyler Brooks, number 90, with the field goal attempt from 25. And really 29-21 is the score. So Bucks will be forced to score and get a 2-point conversion just to tie it. So from the 40-yard line, they'll kick off. Once again, they kick it not towards, it'll go to Grebe this time. Grebe looks to go towards the home bench, 30-yard line. So it's been about the 30-yard line every time.
He's on there.
So Jared Dell in the Bucks offense. You got Langston, the fullback, Marquise Bird, the tailback. And they're going to go to the air. And Dell, wide open receiver. It's Grebe. Grebe all by himself. Touchdown, Andrew Grebe. What a call by Coach Lennox, and what a delivery by Jared Dell. And Grebe, all he had to do was haul it in and basically walk into the end zone. Great job. And what a way to answer. Now you just dial up your best two-point conversion play and hope you connect.
Two more gotta come off. One more.
Love that call. High formation for the two-point conversion. Dell floats one. And you know what? The ball was tipped. Langston was hit. He was tackled. There's no doubt about it. But the ball was tipped, which makes it a fair game to do that. So good play by Oxford to deny the two-point conversion. So the Bucks are going to have to hold and score again. Langston did get pulled down, but again, on a tip ball, it's pretty much anything is fair game. So 29-27, Oxford with the lead. So they try what amounts to an onside kick, I guess. Oxford gets it, though. They must really be concerned about whoever's returning kicks for Oxford, because they haven't kicked it deep. They've kicked it deep really one time in this game. And Kaminsky back in the game. Another flag on the play. We'll wait and see what kind of flag this is, who it's on. This time they call block in the back on Oxford, so this one will be on the Hornets, and it'll go back. So quarterback Kaminsky back in the game, which is, I think, very important if you're the Oxford Hornets and you're looking to move the ball down the field. Up the gut. And they just left it wide open. I mean, they spread the field out. Pretty basic spread offense stuff. You have to defend the wide receivers that are out wide, and they just open up the middle of the field, and the quarterback sees that and tucks and runs. 2nd down and 4. This time they hand off, but running back slips. Langston with the stop. Easiest tackle he'll ever make. 3rd down and call it like 6, really, maybe 7. An important play here. Kaminsky up the middle, and he'll get stuffed, but it'll be 4th and like 2. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Referee marking it like at about the 48.5. I mean, if you're Oxford, it's a tough call. I mean, if there's less time in the game, maybe you punt it and try and pin him back. But I think probably what you're trying to do here is, keep the ball. And they'll get the 1st down to 45 and then some. Ball on the ground, though, and the Bucks come up with it. We'll see what the ref says. Is the ref saying he was down, or is the ref signaling Bucks ball? Both teams pleading. And really it's just a question of who was the runner down or not. There's no kind of replay. So they're going to give it a 1st down. So I guess the thing is, if you don't know, you have to give it to the offense. If you can't make a determination one way or the other, you have to assume that the ball was, that was on the ground. So, I mean, the Bucks came up with the ball, but it very well may have been after the play was blown dead or whatever. Of course, there'll be a hold here. Another flag. That's going to be on Interboro probably. which really is just stupid. I mean, that play was going to come back, and Oxford was going to get driven back 10 yards. And if Interboro went in and said something or did something to offset it, it's just really a dumb play. And you can't win close football games by making dumb plays. So you had the hold on Oxford. You had the dead ball also on Oxford. So actually it's going to drive them way back because both will count. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not on the field, but like there's a lot of personal foul, like 15-yard calls in this game. You know, and a couple of them have been of the like unsportsmanlike conduct variety. And who knows? I mean, maybe they're down there mouthing off or pushing and shoving or whatever. And Oxford jumps offside, so yeah, the first and they say it's first and 25, but actually it's like more like 33, 34 maybe. And now it's going to be even more. So first and 37. First and 37, 4 wide receivers. And they float one up, and that ball can be intercepted. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Talk about a worst-case scenario. You talk about a worst-case scenario. Convery went up and just tried to knock it down and essentially missed it. And 87 falls, gets the ball, and that's a touchdown and a long one. Neske, you got to hand it to him, man. He just stuck with it. So 35-27, and this would make it 36-27. And he splits it. So rough times there. So 36-27, 9-point deficit. Still time, but certainly not the type of play you wanted there. I mean, you think you got him buried back pretty far, and just really, one of those plays that you can learn a lot from later on. Doesn't help you right now. And Convery bobbles this, and they're going to say he was down. So the 22, 23-yard line is the line of scrimmage. And, Convery probably still thinking about that play. So Jared, he'll look to throw. He gets Grebe. Grebe close to first down yardage. 8:22 to go. And Dell going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. And holy cow. So to be second down and about 25, 23 maybe, after the long loss. A little bit of confusion. Langston goes in motion. And they go double pass, and that ball's live. That ball's live. And Oxford picks it up. Holy cow. And the Bucks self-destructed. And that ball was headed to Convery. The ball was thrown a little bit high. Convery unable to hold on to it. And any reverse pass is live. And Oxford wisely was Johnny on the spot to pick it up. And listen, when it comes right down to it, with the exception of personal fouls, man, Oxford has done the little things better in this football game. And that's why they're ahead, and they deserve to be ahead. They've executed. Kamensky on the keeper, and he's just going to walk into the end zone. Holy cow. And they're going to put up a 40 spot. So 43-27 with 7:03, and really what was a tall order has become almost an impossible order. I mean, if you want to break it down, it's still a two-score game technically, but Bucks haven't always really been known as a quick strike offense, and they just had one big play in this game. You don't usually see them, score a bunch of times real quick. They're more of a grinded-out ball control offense, which is great if you're playing front-running football, but if you're trying to come from behind against a team that also has an adept offense, you're in big trouble. And I think it's safe to say that with 7:03 to go in this game, the Bucks are in big trouble. And they just kick it, they pop it up. And that's Langston. So 32 yard line, and Bucks have a fair amount of work to do here. Dell, and he goes to Grieve. It was a little too hot to handle. Probably a ball Grieve should have had. This game started at 7 o'clock. It was on-time start. 9:24 is the current time. So we're looking at a long game in terms of like what high school football is. Usually these games are done a lot quicker. And remember, there was like no halftime show, no homecoming, none of that kind of stuff. So my good buddy Joe Barrett just called this the longest game in high school history, and he might not be completely far off. Jared Dell escaping pressure. And really nobody to throw to, and he slips and falls. So third down and long. Jared. He gets Convery up at about the 38-yard line. Be fourth down and 3. And might not be a bad idea to either get a timeout here and draw up the right play, or because really if you don't score here, you pretty much say it's over.
Kelly out. Tell him to shut his mouth.
Flag on the play. And if that's on Oxford, it'll be a first down for Interboro. So they catch a break there. Sorry. So 43 and a half, maybe the 44. Bucks with 4 wide receivers. They too spread the field out. Bird the lone setback. Dell with the snap. It was a little low. He fires over the middle when it's blocked. Intended for Grebe.
Jay Morton, tell him to watch where he's lining up. Joe on the sideline. We're pushing the coaches forward. Back everybody off the line. Guys, get on Mike. Get everybody off the line. Get everybody off the line a foot. Tell them big step back. I need everybody back. No, I'm talking our kids. All of our kids. Back them the hell up. Davon, back.
And the pitch out to Grebe. Grebe with some running room. Upended it at midfield to about the 48. Well, just 4.5 to go in this one. Third down and 2 from the 48. Bucks with a 16-point deficit, really not in any type of hurry up. And Whittorf, the catch, stays in bounds though.
No change, coach.
A 43-yard line after the first down catch by Whittorf. We're under 4 minutes, but again, no sense of urgency here. Bucks just hoping they can score or get a 2-point conversion and get an onside kick and, you know, hopefully make it work. That's interesting. So incomplete pass on the sidelines. It was gone for Grebe.
Eight's coming in, coach.
So Moore on the sidelines in what looks like a soft boot. An incomplete pass. They threw a flag on the play, probably pass interference. A little commotion out there after the penalty.
Tell Vining to get us set. Three's in, coach. Three's back in. Double. Watch that.
They dump one off to Grebe again, a couple yards. No. With 3:20, clock stopped. Good people at South Avenue starting to file out. A 16-point deficit. Ball on the 30-yard line, but it's second down and 12. And Dell sacked. So it'll be third down and about 15 now, and coach will call timeout. So Bucks will go. I mean, if we can assume that they're unable to come back here, they have 1-1 record at the end of tonight, and they play Archbishop Ryan here next week. We certainly hope for better weather, and we hope to see you here back at the South Avenue Sports Complex. We hope to see a good crowd out. We hope everybody comes hungry, spends lots of money at the concession stand. And Della Pascoli fires one up into double cover. And intercepted. Just a little bit underthrown. Convery was behind the guys, but in all honesty, you know, he really didn't have another play. And even last year's graduates are stepping out. And you know, when the has-beens take a walk out of the stadium, then the party's officially over. So with 3:03 to go, the assumption here is that Oxford's going to, you know, run this clock out. So they'd go to the simple I formation, and then again, you would think that like Oxford would probably huddle up after each play here, and then they did call a timeout. And that may, not sure if that's their last one. I guess they have one more. The Bucks still holding on. So these timeouts are usually when I come up with some type of creative or, you know, witty response to the evening's activities, but I got nothing, man. I really thought this was one of those games, you know, this was like the Oxford teams of old. They came in here and they took their whooping and they went back to Oxford, but no more, man. This Oxford team was good. They came out, they executed, they played well. They have a fun, dynamic offense. They did just enough on defense, and I'd be interested in following them the rest of the season, you know, to see how they progress. So Interboro is going to call their last timeout here, which you know, could eventually, like if Oxford doesn't get the first down in this next play, then Bucks will get the ball back. But this is their final timeout. Volunteers are taking down all the signs. Like to get all, again, we'll thank all those sponsors for their help. And we'll continue to give them shout outs throughout the year. And this is going to be a first down and then maybe more. Past midfield. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. Touchdown, Oxford. And an extra point here is going to give him a half 100, which, you know, basically like you get 50 put up on you in football. That means you took a whooping. And I think it's safe to say that Interboro took a whooping tonight. A lot of big plays. 75 on that play. A low snap, kick is up, but splits it, and they get that 50. And you don't see Interboro give up 50 very often, like not at all. So 2:33 will be what's left in the game, and Oxford will kick off, and not exactly sure how Interboro will play this final 2:33. Whether they'll just put back us in, hand the ball off, and or if they'll try and move the ball down the field. I don't know that there's a right or a wrong answer or what you're supposed to do in a situation like this. There's 20, you're down 23 points, so you're at best 3 scores down with 2:33 to go. The game's over. So we shall see. Convery will come near the home bench. He sees a gap. They're going for the ball. They get him down at the 43. Mufti a little shaken up as he comes off the field.
We got 10. We got 10. One corner.
Ball on the ground. A lot of
Dawson's got to back up. Hey, get Biggie now. Send him in. Through Binding. Binding goes out. Jackson off the field. Get Jackson off the field. Binding goes. Tell the line to back up, Coach. Back up.
So Grebe, the ball not quite first down. He gets out of bounds. Or do they give him the first down? Yeah, not quite. So 3rd down, and they stay with their first team. Be 3rd down in a little bit. They got out of bounds, so there's only 2 minutes, 9 seconds left. They go for Grebe again, but gonna go Bird. Bird up the gut, ball on the ground,
We got it.
and Oxford with the recovery. And now the game will be over. So Bird got the first down, but then lost the ball. So a couple kneel downs, and this bad boy should be over.